Hi, this is here. This is day 5 of Ruthless Go League, and build is going pretty well. Right now, I am doing T4s to T6s. I really am trying to push for maps, but I haven't been getting a good many of them. So I'm slowly just doing whatever maps I can based on what I drop, and that's pretty much about it. Transmutes are actually very hard to come by, so I'm not actually using them. I'm just going mostly just going them white if I drop them white. The build is now doing decent amount of damage. I can show you if you want. I like to give you an example or to show you. Check out the coral. This coral is just easier to see. Okay. This build can pretty much do almost every mod, so not too much of a problem. I'm currently 80. So yeah. Oh, I forgot. So when I get bleed, I need to hit the floss ASAP or I die. My build is slightly zoomy just because I can keep a pretty good uptime on Berserk using Calm Spirit, which gives me rage. And although I don't have chain, the damage is high enough for me to not be a problem. It would be nice if I have a source of chain. Unfortunately, Snake Pit is pretty hard to come by. I think there's only one in the server right now. Not only is there only one Snake Pit, even if I run a Snake Pit, it makes me lose quite a bit of life. Unfortunately, no map. I want a full clear. I think I did full clear, mostly. Okay, not really, that's 15 months remain. This layout's not really that good. I don't know where the rest of the mob are. think I'm done. Let's do another map. Wait, actually, there's
Those bloody blue bastards are trying to gain a foothold on the
I'll just do the port map here. So damage is pretty good. I'll show you on the map. Mobility is nice too. And because I have like 5.4k life, it is pretty tanky. Oh shit, to deliver.
Everyone you have slain had life, family. Yours will come one day.
I use temporal chains to get out of a shitty situation because you can't really move in Ruthless. Just be careful though, because temporal chains can sometimes put you in a shitty situation. But
Can I not have but a moment's respite? I'm gonna turn down one arc. Not this one, is it? Wait, this is 8 passive fire? Oh god, that's actually not bad. Pretty sure it's still 1 out. Oh, not bad. Nice. I think I've already unlocked that one, haven't I? Oh no, I haven't got the bonus. Okay, nice. That's sweet. Tempting, that's fine. Oh, okay, that's not so good. Life, rarity, cool. Okay, this is maybe 1 elk. So I'm going to briefly talk about how the damage kills, and generally what the synergies involved with this particular build, and then I'll do the T6 and get the Atlas point. As you can tell, I have made quite a bit of currency, mostly because when you have, I mean, I found one item that was really expensive and that sold, so that gave me about 50 elks. And then a lot of the additional currency I've been generating is mostly from selling like support gems, and then also mostly doing currency swaps. So I don't think a lot of people are kind of accustomed to Ruthless. They don't really know how much each currency is value. So I've been like swapping elks for GCPs because I'm pretty sure GCPs like drop pretty. Actually, if you look at normal Ruthless compared to this game mode, normal Ruthless, the GCPs are like 3 elks or something, and then regrets are like 4. But in this case, regrets are cheap because you can trade gold for them. So I've been like trading them for GCPs. Yeah, or regrets rather than like buying it from other people. Like if you sell out for like 2 regrets, you can save quite a bit of money there. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna briefly talk about that build and how much it cost me. So the chest armor is a replica low weave, and this was like 5 elks, pretty cheap. He Shiva is like 2 or 3 elks. This was 1 elk, I believe. The Lori's Lantern was like 1 elk. Rathpith, it was, I mean, I lucked out. This is the only Rathpith in the server, but it was 6 elks. This is 1 elk, and the anoint on it is another 1 or 2 elks. The Martial Legion boots is 2 elks. This was 3 elks. I looted this, so this I got off the ground. Wretch, you can craft it, so it's 1 fusing and Famine Bind and Feast Bind. And Famine Bind, Feast Bind are like half an hour each, so I traded it off for like pretty cheap anyway. So basically everything on this character is super cheap. The only really expensive stuff were I think support gems. So I have a Divergent Inspiration that's 5 elks, then a Divergent Berserk that's 4 elks. Yeah. So all in all, most of the build is like super cheap, and it's just the synergies that are kind of carrying it. Of course, Rathpith is kind of expensive. If I didn't manage to snag this one like super cheap. But other than that, oh yeah, jewels. Let's talk about jewels. I have 3 of the Grand Spectrums that avoid ailments. There's 2, 3 elks each. I think it'll probably go up once people realize how good it is, especially if we can't get a purity of elements. So there's 3 of them. And then I also run this. Dissolution of the Flesh I bought for 7 elks. I am supposed to pay the guy back. I'm pretty sure he has quit. Because when I look at his character on PoE, he has nothing on his character. So I'm pretty sure he quit. He said he'll log on today, and then I just pay him back 7 elks. He was like, "Oh, I'll trust you. You pay me back tomorrow." I've waited the whole day for him, and he hasn't popped up yet. So I think he's not coming back. But I'll still save 7 elks just in case he decides to come back. And I'll just pass it to him. So yeah, the synergies for this build, and the reason why it does so much damage, is Icicle Mine is also an aura skill technically. So when you put in a Martial Legion, you get basically 5 levels, right? So even though this is a 4 link, you basically get 5 free levels on Icicle Mine. And when you hit level 20 or 21 skill gem, you basically bump it to 25 or 26 levels. And each level is about 10% more damage. So you can imagine this is basically a 50% more damage on a 4 with a 4 link. So that's almost a pseudo 5 link, right? So this is actually pretty insane, especially with Ruthless, because 6 linking stuff is going to be super expensive.
Not as expensive as normal Ruthless because fusings are really cheap. But yeah, this is like super cost effective, mainly because then you also don't really have to spend much for mana costs. It's only 9 because of the Divergent Inspiration, or rather the Inspiration. And then the reservation is also like super low, so the reservation for this is like only 8 mana. If I had it on a 6 link, it'll be like 20 mana reservation or something. So this keeps the cost down a lot, especially for mines. Because Rathpith basically always reduces my life. I lose life whenever I use the Rathpith. I'm always at 1 life essentially. And because I'm 1 life, it means I have low life, which means I get Pain Attunement, so 30% more spell damage. And then I get to use Lori's Lantern. So Lori's Lantern gives me Chaos Resistance, Movement Speed, and damage of enemies hitting me is unlucky. So that gives me quite a bit of an EHP layer. That's pretty nice. This actually negates the downside of actually this one. So because normally Lori's Lantern, Lori's Lantern gives me more EHP, but I'm losing some EHP because I'm using a replica Lori. So this is 72% max res. I'm losing 3% max res effectively. The upside to this, and most people haven't realized this is not bad, because on maps where you lose maximum resistances, this basically acts as a protection against it. It's kind of like low Eve. The upside to this, and why this chest is like super good for Icicle Mine, is because 150% global crit chance is amazing. And then because I'm using Rathpith, the life is amazing. Because I'm using mines, the mana is amazing because it helps me with my mana pool. The rarity is good because it's Ruthless. Like I dropped this rare, right? I wouldn't have dropped it rare if I didn't have enough rarity. And then increased elemental damage is nice too. Attributes great for stat requirements. So this is pretty much like, other than the downside of the 72 res, this is pretty much a perfect chest armor. And it's also one of the reasons why I'm at 5.3 or almost 5.4k life right now. If you see the pathing of the tree, I'm gonna briefly go into that. It's a lot more optimized now. So I'm starting from Scion, and because ascendancy wise, I don't get to start from any other star point. I'm going Saboteur and Raider. Raider gives me spell suppression, movement speed, Onslaught's useless, so it doesn't really matter, but phasing. And the phasing is pretty nice because there's a miner, you really want to be able to just phase through mobs. It's also amazing because if I have, let's say if I drop down a frost wall, I can just walk through it freely. Yeah. Saboteur is nice because it gives me pen, 10% life regenerated per second. I'll explain to you later why that's good. Air effect's not useful for Icicle Mine, unfortunately. And blindness, pretty okay. It's kind of meh, but whatever. The reason why 10% life regen per second is nice is because with the max life pool of 5.3 or 5.4, 5% is 10% is like almost 500 regen a second. Okay, so 500 regen a second is kind of pointless, right? Because I have Disillusion of the Flesh. So this is pretty classic Dissolution Rathpith miner setup. So Calms is here to basically turn all my regen to rage generation. So if you want to see how much rage I generate, that's insane, eh? Look at the rage going up. And then with rage, I have Divergent Berserk. Divergent Berserk basically gives me more spell damage, very small amount, 2%. I need to level up this enhanced support. But yeah, Divergent Rage is pretty amazing. Once I get this leveled and I get more GCPs into it. Yeah, and then the movement speed's nuts as well, right? So the reason, okay, why am I going the Reg? The Reg is mainly because in Ruthless, flash duration on your Quicksilvers are pretty garbage. So let me show you. It's 2 seconds, right? And with something like this, you increase it by 60%. It's about 3 seconds, 3 seconds plus. That plus Berserk is pretty insane movement speed. So let me show you the movement speed on this character. So right now, it's like 49 here. So I'm gonna pop Rage and I'll go 163. This amount of mobility in Ruthless is kind of insane because you don't really have a lot of movement skills. And if I run too far ahead into like something that's really dangerous and gnarly, I just backtrack, right, with Temporal. So Temporal is nice too because it helps me deal with temp chains on maps. Yeah. all in all, build is amazing, and quite happy how it turned out. I probably can scale damage. I'm looking at POB. Once I get 21 levels on Icicle Mine, so 21 here, and then I level up quite a number of other things. I'm looking at probably like 4 mil DPS, 4 to 5. Um, it's kind of so-so. I mean, it's not as amazing as what I have in normal Ruthless, which is my Hex Blast Miner, because my Hex Blast Miner right now has a. Let me show you. I probably didn't do a video update, but crash. Oh god! Oh no. So my Hexless miner right now in normal Ruthless has a Covenant. I 6-linked it, by the way. It's insane. If I manage to 6-link this with about 300 fusing total, and basically the damage on this is like nuts. Okay, so the damage here for my Hex Plus miner is at like 30 mil on Pinnacles, and then on Uber bosses it's like 10 mil. Yeah, 10 mil. So I'm not sure if I want to do this. This character is not tanky at all, but I might start to think of doing a no-hit for Ruthless. We'll see how. Anyway, so I'm pretty much just gonna play this. So normal Ruthless is not gonna see. I'm not gonna play wrong Ruthless that much. In this month or so, I'm just gonna play the event, and maybe the other events, right? We'll see. All right, I'm gonna do this T6. Hopefully level, and then get my Alice point. So if you're gonna look at my Alice tree, I have learned from my mistakes from playing Ruthless, and I'm basically blocking everything except heist, because I do like heist as a starter like activity. Like it's the only map spawn that other than masters which I'm happy to get in a map, mainly because you get all these contracts, like free contracts, and then you can just run them. Yeah. I'm also making a beeline for all these because extra mission completion is nice. I'm gonna get this one over here, which is for Aina, and then I'm gonna pop all the way here and get June. And I'm gonna pretty much just focus on June exclusively because I want to learn how to set up syndicate boards, and then I'll probably focus on getting like 28% armors, maybe thinking of 6-link stuff. Try to farm up some devouring items. We'll see. Also because I don't think my character can kind of do Elva very well right now, so I don't want to commit to Elva. And Elva is like kind of not that strong until you hit reds, like at least one T16. If you don't have a T16, Elva is kind of shit. Because the way to maintain or sustain high level maps requires you to have at least one high level map, and I don't have that. Yeah, so that being said, probably going to focus on June, focus on Delph, and then eventually focus on Elva. So, yeah. Not sure if I'll be able to boss in this, but probably. Just way later, I guess. Nice. Okay. Right now, when it comes to passive points, I'm only just focusing on getting all the life nodes. Once I get this one, I'm really done with all the life nodes I can get available. I'll be about 5.6k life, I think, after this one. And then I'll close to 5.7. And then I'll start pathing this way and getting the extra curse. So extra curse is pretty nice. And then probably I'll go for a crit multi over here. Crit multi over here is pretty nice as well. So that will be like my journey to level 90. And then if I do get an extra curse, I'll put Assassin's Mark, and that will push my DPS from like right now it's like around 2 mil, I think. Whenever Assassin's Mark, it'll go up to like 2.5 ish. And then I get level 21 gem, it'll hit 4 plus, and then when I optimize all the rest of my gear, it's gonna hit. Actually, what? After hit 21 gem, it'll probably be like 4.5 mil DPS. Yeah, and the rest is just minor gear optimizations. But I'm expecting to just use this setup to zoom like crazy and just do lots of maps. Hopefully I don't have any map drop problems. Like right now, I've even found a map for this tier. I hope to get to Reds by end of the week, or maybe just slightly over a week. Alright, that's all there is to it. Hope you enjoyed this showcase. And peace. I'm out.